Hey guys, welcome to creatingtracks.com, and this is what we're gonna do today. All right, sweet. So let's go into Massive, File, New Sound, and in both the oscillators, we're gonna pick a sine square, turn on the second oscillator, and bring their WT positions all the way down. And in our effects tab, let's grab a Browner tube and bring up the drive and the dry wet all the way. And then you can increase your master volume because it's gonna turn down a little bit. All right, and then we're gonna grab a dimension expander and bring down the size and the dry wet. And this is going to increase your volume just a little bit, so keep that in mind. So I'm gonna bring that down just a little more, the master volume. And then in the EQ, we're gonna turn up the high shelf. So that makes it a bit brighter. And then in the LFO tab, we're gonna turn on the sync and bring up this crossfade all the way. And then instead of the LFO, we're gonna grab a performer, click on the load curve, and grab this flat line over here. So click on that, and then click on the first one, and drag it without letting go of your click. And then drag that all the way up without letting go of your click. So all the way up and all the way to the left. Because if you let go of your thick click, then you're gonna have to select it and put that, drag that all the way again. All right, so let's grab this performer and place that on our pitch of both the oscillators, raise that to 12. And if you get scared with the performer or you find it confusing, it's actually very easy. What this means is there's a minimum and a maximum value. So if this is all the way up, you're gonna hear the maximum value, which is 12 steps over here. And when it's all the way down, you're gonna hear 0, which is the minimum value. And then all the way up. So if I have something like this, all right, so that's what the performer does. And now we're gonna click on this curve over here and place that on the first one and bring that all the way up. So it's gonna go from 0 to 12 and then hold it there for 15 counts. So check it out. All right, so let's click on this load curve again. And then if you bring the crossfade down, you're gonna hear this pattern over here. And to reverse that, we're gonna click on load curve, grab the same one that we put on 1 over here. So this curve, and then click and drag that all the way and then all the way up. All right. So now we can start placing our macros. So let's grab the second macro and place that on the amp and bring down the amp and click and drag that all the way up. And the third macro, we can place it on our crush fade, and bring that down. And then there we have the crossfade, and then here's the amp. And the amp is kind of like a riser effect. So if we bring the amp all the way up, and I'm gonna rename this amp, and if the amp of the LFO is down, the LFO doesn't work. So if you modulate this in time, okay, and then with the crossfade, okay, so when you bring the amp down, the LFO is not working again, and if you raise it slowly, then you're gonna hear that rising effect. So that's how you can get a rising kind of effect, and then we can send this to our reverb in the Ableton Sends, which sounds pretty good. And then we can grab a saturator, a bit warmer preset, and let's turn on the soft clip, color, and grab a soft sine and bring it down to 15%. So there you you go. That's basically it. And you can keep messing around with your own curves. So go to load curves and just grab something like different. So something like this. Or maybe even do something random. So like click this one and then the flat one and then the curved one and then flat and then curve and then flat. All right, so keep messing with your own curves and your own patterns. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Definitely stay tuned for more. Until next week, peace.